In today's class, we will discuss about class. Figure shows class P output stage. It consists of a complementary pair of transistor. One is NPN transistor and another one is PNP transistor. Connected in such a way that both cannot conduct simultaneously. Okay, and now we will study how the class B output stage will work. When the input voltage, that is Vi, is equal to 0, then both the transistors, that is NPN transistor and as well as the PNP transistor, are in cutoff stage, and therefore the output voltage is 0. Okay, so when the input is equal to 0, both the transistor Q1, Qn and Qp, that is NPN transistor and PNP transistor, both are in cutoff, and therefore the output voltage is 0. So the second case, when V1 or input voltage goes positive, okay, when this V1 is positive and exceeds say 0.6 volts or 0.5 volts, then Qn conducts. Okay, this Qn conducts and appears as an emitter follower. Okay, and appears an emitter follower. In this case, the V0, the output voltage, follows the input voltage, that is Vi. Okay, that is V0 is equal to V1 minus VBE n. Okay, VBE of the NPN transistor, and Qn supplies the load current. Qn, this transistor Qn supplies the load current, and meanwhile the emitter base Qp will be reverse biased by the VBE of Qn, okay, and which is approximately 0.7, and thus Qp will be in cutoff state. The Qp, that is this transistor, will be in cutoff state. Okay, and this is the condition what we have just now discussed. Okay, that is when the input voltage is greater than 0.6 volts, the Qn turns on and operates as an emitter follower. Load current is positive and that is being supplied by the Qn base emitter junction. Qp of this base emitter junction is reverse bias. And this type of arrangement is also called as complementary push-pull output stage. Okay, this type of arrangement is also called as complementary push-pull output stage. Here, Q1 conducts during the positive half cycle, whereas Qp conducts during the negative half cycle. Okay, so if this input voltage goes negative by more than 0.6 volts, then what happens? This transistor Qp turns on, and once again it will act as emitter follower. Okay, again this V0 follows the Vi. Okay, that is V0 is equal to, at this time the output voltage is equal to Vi plus VEB of P. VEB, that is this of VBE of P of this PNP transistor. But in this case, the transistor Qp supplies the load current and Qn will be in cutoff state. Okay, and because of this operation, we can conclude that the transistor in the class B stage are biased at zero current, and conducts only when the input signal is present. The circuit operates in push-pull fashion. The circuit operates in push-pull fashion. Qn pushes the source current into the load when Vi is positive, and similarly Qp pulls or sinks the current from the load when Vi is negative. Okay, and hence this arrangement is also called as complementary push-pull output stage or complementary push-pull amplifier. Now we'll see the transfer characteristics of class B output stage. Transfer characteristics of the class B. The transfer characteristics of class B is shown in this figure here. More clearly is shown in this figure. Note that here the range of Vi centered around 0. Okay, the range of Vi centered around 0 where both transistors are cut off. Okay, and this cutoff will be continued until our 0.5 or 0.6 volts. Okay, and this will be in cutoff stage. Okay, and at this time the output voltage, that is V0, is 0. Okay, at this time V0 is 0, and this region is commonly known as dead band. Okay, this dead band results in crossover distortion. Okay, that will results in crossover distortion for the case of the input sine wave, and the effect of the crossover is more. This crossover distortion effect is more when input is small, and this crossover distortion in audio power amplifier give rise to an unpleasant sound. Okay, and after this it is going to attain the linear region when when it has been in the positive direction until it is attains its Qn is in saturation, that is VCC minus VCE in saturation, and it attains its a negative linearity region until it is in the maximum value of QP saturation, that is minus VCC plus VEC desaturation. Okay, this is about the transfer characteristics of the class B amplifier. Next one is to find the power conversion efficiency of the class B output stage. We know that the power conversion efficiency is defined as the ratio of load power PT to the supply power PS. Okay, load power to the supply power, and neglecting the crossover distortion and considering the case of the output as sinusoidal of the peak voltage V0, the average load, that is PL, is given by V0 square by root 2 whole square divided by RL, and writing that load power in terms of RMS value, that will become 1 by 2 into V0 square, V0 cap square divided by RL. Okay, call this as equation number 1. Now the current drawn, the average, or you can say current drawn from each supply will consist of half sine waves of the peak amplitude V0 by RL. Thus the average, what is going to happen, the current drawn from each supplies will consist of half sine wave of peak amplitude of V0 by RL. Thus the average current drawn from each of the two supplies will be V naught cap by RL. Okay, the current drawn from the each of the two supplies will be V naught cap by RL. Therefore, the average power supplied by each of the power source power supply will be same, and therefore that is equal to the PS plus is equal to PS minus, that is equal to 1 divided by pi V naught cap divided by RL into VCC. Call this as equation number 2. Therefore, using the above equation, we can write directly the total power, that is PS plus PS minus. The total power will be equal to 2 times V naught divided by pi into RL into VCC. Now, the efficiency or power conversion efficiency will be given by how much? That is load power. Load power is how much? That is 1 by 2 V naught cap square divided by RL and divided by supply power PS. Okay, take the divided by PS. That means it will, when it will comes in the numerator, it will be reciprocal of that one, power supply. Therefore, 2 V naught cap by pi RL into VCC. Okay, just we have substituted the values. Sorry, 1 by 2 V naught cap square divided by RL divided by 2 into V naught cap by pi into RL VCC. That is, this is load power and this is supply power. So when we will simplify this equation, we are going to get the answer as pi by 4 into V naught cap by VCC. Okay, and the maximum possible efficiency is occurs when this VCC is equal to V naught cap. Okay, when the VCC is having the value of V naught cap, and that's why the maximum efficiency will become pi by 4, that is equal to 78.5%. Call this as equation number 4. Okay, therefore you can say the maximum efficiency of class B amplifier is 78.5%, and the maximum possible average power that can be delivered to the load, that is 1 by 2 into V squared CC by RL. Okay, the maximum load that can be delivered to the load is 1 by 2 into V squared C divided by RL. Call this as equation number 5. Next, power dissipation in the class B output stage. As in the class A stage, which dissipates maximum power under the quiescent condition, that is when V naught is equal to 0, the quiescent power dissipation of the class stage is 0. Class B stage is given by, that is when the input signal is applied, the power dissipated in the class B stage is given by PD is equal to, power dissipation is equal to PS minus PL. Okay, that is power supply minus load power. Okay, under the quiescent power dissipation of the class B stage is quiescent condition is V naught is equal to 0, and when we are going to apply an input signal, the average power dissipated can be calculated by subtracting the PS minus PL, that is power dissipation, and substitute the value of PS and PL from the previous discussion. The value of PS is 2 by pi V naught cap divided by RL into VCC. PL is load power is equal to 1 by 2 into V naught cap square divided by RL. Substituting these values, that is PS and PL value in equation number 1, that is subtracting these two PS minus PL, we are going to get, that is 2 by pi V naught cap into VCC divided by RL. minus 1 by 2 into V naught cap square divided by RL. Okay, this is the power dissipation. Okay, now differentiating that equation number 2, this equation with respect to V naught cap, we are going to get the V naught cap is equal to 2 by pi VCC. Okay, we are going to get 2 by VCC. And when we will going to differentiate with respect to V naught cap, that results in maximum power dissipation. Okay, that is, we are going to have V naught cap is equal to 2 by pi VCC. Okay, and substituting this in equation number 2, that is, in this equation, the value of V naught cap. Okay, the value of V naught cap here in the equation number 2. Then simplifying those equations, the maximum power dissipation will be equal to 2 times V squared Cc divided by pi squared into RL. Okay, and therefore the maximum power dissipation will be equal to V squared Cc divided by pi squared RL. Okay, thus at the point of maximum power dissipation, the efficiency can be evaluated by substituting V naught from equation that is, efficiency will be equal to pi by 4 into V naught cap by VCC, and hence the efficiency is equal to 50%. Okay, at the point of maximum power dissipation, the efficiency can be evaluated by substituting the value of V naught cap from the equation 3, that is 2 by pi into VCC. In this equation, we are going to have an efficiency of 50%. Okay, now this figure shows a sketch of power dissipation versus the peak output voltage V naught cap. Okay, this figure shows power dissipation versus the peak output voltage V naught cap. Okay, and we can observe here increasing